Welcome. In our channel, drop a comment and let me know what type of stories would you like. I'm super curious. Hi, my name is Anna and I'm from Ohio. If you enjoy stories about family, music, and unexpected twists, stick around. And maybe give this video a like and subscribe. My parents always dreamed of being world-famous singers, but they never made it past being background vocalists. So when my sister Tanya and I were born, my dad took it upon himself to teach me everything he knew about music. Tanya, on the other hand, was always the favorite, not because of talent but because of looks. She had those striking emerald green eyes and golden blonde hair that turned heads wherever she went. People admired her constantly, and honestly I didn't mind. I enjoyed my quiet, simple life. Once, when we were 5, a woman even tried to steal her from the park. I remember grabbing her hand tightly and shouting, "Let go of my sister, I'm gonna scream." The woman just smirked and said, "I'll give you $10, kid." I refused and held on tighter until Tanya pulled free and ran back to me. We both struggled until she finally got away, and moments later the police showed up. Tanya hugged me tight and whispered, "Anna, you saved me." From that day on I promised myself, no one touches my sister on my watch. Even as we grew older, Tanya was always the center of attention. Everyone loved her beauty while I stayed in the background, perfectly content with my own little world. But then, during our 10th grade year, everything changed. One day after school, we came home to see our dad being rushed to the hospital. He'd had a heart attack. A week passed, and the doctors told us he wouldn't recover unless he underwent a very expensive surgery. We couldn't afford it. Mom was even thinking about selling our house to cover the costs. Then, out of nowhere, she received a phone call. After hanging up, she started screaming with excitement. It turns out her former agent had reached out. There was an audition happening in just a few days for a new music project, and it paid well. She begged Tanya and me to take the opportunity. On the day of the audition, everyone was stunned by Tanya's beauty. But when she opened her mouth to sing, people literally covered their ears. One producer even cut off the mic mid-performance. He wasn't subtle, he said. "I can't stand her voice." Okay, he exaggerated a bit, but only slightly. Truth was, Tanya couldn't carry a tune if her life depended on it, not even in the shower. A few minutes later, it was my turn. When I began singing, the entire room seemed to stop. They looked mesmerized. I sang asterisk, "I'm not giving up on you. You know I love you. Please hug me and say it back. I love you." Asterisk. After a long discussion, the producers announced they wanted to sign both of us, but with one condition. I would be the real singer, and Tanya would lip-sync to my voice. That way, she could be the face, and I'd be the hidden voice behind her success. I immediately said no. That didn't feel right. But then Tanya grabbed my hand, tears streaming down her face. "Please, sis. You have to do this. We need the money." Our mom chimed in. "Anna, honey. The future of our family rests on your shoulders now. Think about your dad. Think about all of us." I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't bear to see my family suffer. So I agreed. Once we signed the deal, all of my dad's medical bills were paid, and within a month, he was healthy again. But from that point on, it was non-stop music videos, tours, and appearances across the country. Wherever Tanya went, people lost their minds. Fans would practically fight each other just to catch a glimpse of her. These people were obsessed, and it clearly went to her head. When we returned to school after summer break, Tanya started acting like a queen, and worse, a bully. One day at lunch, she walked up to a guy sitting in what she thought was her seat and snapped, "Get out of my spot, don't you know who I am?" The guy didn't even flinch. He just kept eating his sandwich. Tanya turned red with anger. I stepped in gently. "Hey, it's okay. Let's just find another seat." Maybe he didn't hear you. But instead of walking away, Tanya grabbed a bottle of mustard and poured it all over his head. I couldn't believe it. "Are you freaking kidding me?" I turned to the guy, completely embarrassed. "I'm so sorry about my sister. She's a little, please let it go. I'll pay for your jacket later." I grabbed Tanya's arm and dragged her out of there. What were you thinking? I asked once we were outside. Didn't you see he acted like he didn't even know you? She rolled her eyes. Whatever, Anna. You didn't have to apologize to him. He's a jerk. And with that she stormed off. Such a diva. Later that day after school I went into the music room to practice. As I finished singing, I heard someone clapping behind me. I turned around in shock. It was Brandon, the guy from the cafeteria. He smiled. That voice. That's your sister's singing voice, isn't it? No. What now? I thought you didn't know her, I said nervously. I never said that, he replied. She just assumed I didn't. I know who she is. And now I know her little secret. My heart dropped. With every sentence, he stepped closer while I backed away. Then I tripped over something and he caught me before I fell. What are you even doing here? He asked. Everyone's gone by now. Except you. And you kind of owe me something. My eyes widened. He chuckled. Relax. You said you'd pay for my jacket. I'm here to collect. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. I handed him some cash from my bag and quickly left. A few days later, while I was in the library, Tanya approached me with a folded note. Go give this to Brandon and tell him I want to meet him at the cafe tonight. What? Why? Didn't you see he ignored you? He's different, she said. He didn't chase after me like everyone else. Like him. I want him. I want to make him my boyfriend. Well then, why don't you talk to him? Because I'm me, duh. I'm a superstar. I can't make the first move. I don't want to look desperate. Do it for me, please. Reluctantly, I left the note on his desk and ran out before he saw me. Later that evening, Tanya asked me to tag along to the cafe. But when we arrived, she spotted some people with cameras nearby. Oh no. Paparazzi. I can't be seen with anyone. My contract doesn't allow public dating. But Brandon's waiting for you, I reminded her. Can you go tell him I'll see him tomorrow at school? Thanks, bye. And with that, she jumped into a cab and sped off. So, I had no choice but to go inside and explain everything to Brandon myself. I walked in and found him already seated. He looked up and smiled. Hey, I'm sorry, I thought you wouldn't come. I thought this was some stupid prank. But I'm glad you're here. Wait, he thought I was the one who sent the note. I wanted to tell him the truth right then, but he looked so happy to see me. Plus, he'd ordered all my favorite foods. I figured I could wait a few more minutes. But as the night went on, things kept getting better. He was really sweet, funny, and kind. After the date, he walked me home, which felt like the perfect moment to confess. But just as I turned to speak, he leaned in and kissed me. And wow, it was amazing. Suddenly, I heard Tanya coming out of the front door. I panicked, pushed Brandon into the bushes, and rushed inside. The next day, I searched everywhere for him, determined to tell him the truth. But when I finally found him, Tanya was already talking to him in the hallway. Freaking lies, she was saying. What do you mean you don't like me? Then why were you at the cafe last night? Brandon looked confused. What are you talking about? I wasn't waiting for you. I was there for Anna. I wouldn't date someone as mean as you even if you were the last girl on earth. Tanya slapped him hard and stormed off, while everyone around them filmed the whole thing on their phones. This was bad. I chased after her, trying to calm her down. Tanya, stop it. I didn't do anything. He liked me from the beginning. You're the one who sent me to him. She glared at me. Yeah, biggest mistake of my life. I trusted you and you betrayed me. Which? Before I could react, she lunged at me, grabbing my hair. We ended up in a full-on fight in the middle of the hallway. Eventually, our parents were called in. The principal showed them the videos everyone had recorded and said Tanya's behavior had been getting worse and worse. She was suspended for a month. Felt awful. Later that night, I went to hug her and promised I wouldn't see Brandon anymore. She hugged me back instantly. But when I went to my room, Brandon was already waiting there. Why are you avoiding me? He asked. And what was your sister talking about today? Brandon, you can't be here. Get out now. Hey, chill. Why do you look so tense? Tell me what happened. He pulled me into his arms and I melted. I told him everything, honestly, without holding back. When I finished, he looked into my eyes and said, I won't force you to like me. But if you do, I won't let anyone keep you away from me. That was the moment I realized. Maybe, just maybe, I'd found someone who truly saw me. He moved in to kiss me, but just then, Tanya burst into my room holding a fire extinguisher. Without warning, she sprayed it all over us. I gasped as the cold foam hit my face. I knew it, she screamed. You ugly cow. You're a filthy backstabber, and I'm gonna destroy you both. Before I could even respond, our parents came running too. They pulled Tanya away, and she was taken back to her room while I stood there, soaked and stunned. As punishment for inviting Brandon over behind their backs, I was grounded for a whole week. We had a big concert coming up soon, and even though I was furious with Tanya, I still had to help her because of our contract. So, like always, I stood backstage singing while the entire crowd cheered for her on stage. After the performance, Tanya was handed an award for Star Performer. Even Mom and Dad were brought on stage. The host said, You guys must feel truly blessed to have a daughter with the voice of an angel. Mom smiled proudly. It's an honor. We're so lucky to have her. Hearing that, something inside me felt off. I looked down at the microphone in my hand and, without thinking, smashed it against the ground in frustration. Just then, someone from the audience asked Tanya to dedicate a song to our mom. She smiled and made this sweet little hand gesture, one of those cute things she used to do whenever I sang. But this time she was doing it without me. My mic was broken on the floor, so she started singing on her own. The second her real voice hit the speakers, a wave of silence swept through the crowd. People looked confused, then shocked. Tanya noticed it too, and when she looked backstage at me, her eyes filled with rage. The audience started chanting, Fraud! Lip syncers! Some even began climbing onto the stage. Chaos erupted. The bodyguards rushed Tanya and our parents off stage to safety, but they left me standing there alone. How could they? I ran out of the venue, heart pounding with anger. I'd done everything for them, sacrificed my dreams, my identity, my happiness, and not one of them even thought to protect me. When I got home, I was shocked to see a huge crowd gathered outside our house. Phones were flashing, people shouting questions. My phone buzzed non-stop with messages and videos from everyone. Tanya's bullying videos were going viral. And alongside them, a video of me singing, finally revealed as the real voice behind her fame. Holy Mother of Jesus, I whispered to myself. I slipped into the house through the back door, hoping to avoid the chaos. But the second I stepped inside, Tanya saw me and flew into a rage. She grabbed a vase and hurled it at me. I barely dodged it as it shattered against the wall. Then I saw it. All of her awards and trophies were already in the fireplace, flames licking at the edges. What are you doing? Shouted. Have you gone crazy? She glared at me. Why would you do this to me? Trying to steal my spotlight now. Are you kidding me? Snap. This was an accident. Or is it because you want some fame for yourself now? Her face twisted with anger. Just remember this, you witch. People only hear your voice because of my face. Otherwise, no one would ever pay attention to you, even if you sang on the roadside. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Who are you? You're such a mean, self-absorbed brat. And you know what? You're only a star because of my voice. Without me, you're just a pretty, dumb face. That's when she grabbed a burning trophy from the fire and charged at me full force. You took everything from me. The guy I loved, my reputation at school, and now my fame too. I'm gonna kill you. Thankfully, Mom and Dad finally stepped in and stopped her just in time. Stop this madness right now, Dad yelled. They pried the trophy from her hands and threw it away. Then he looked at me, his eyes full of regret. Anna, he said softly, we can't believe we were so blinded by your sister's beauty and fame that we never realized what a monster she was becoming. Mom hugged me tightly. We're so sorry. We've never truly appreciated you for everything you've done for us. You're the daughter every parent would be proud of. Please forgive us." "Oh, Mom. Dad," I whispered, tears filling my eyes. But Tanya just rolled hers. "You people are morons, and I'm not letting go of my fame so easily. Watch this." And with that, she stormed toward the front door. As soon as she opened it, the media swarmed her. "So is it true you can't sing? That creepy frog voice we heard, was that really yours? And who's the real singer? Is she your sister? We want to see her." Reporters shouted questions from every direction, and suddenly, a group of angry fans started throwing eggs and rotten tomatoes at her. She screamed and tried to push through the crowd to get to her car. And honestly, I couldn't help but smile a little. She was getting exactly what she deserved. Curious, I went upstairs to get a better view from my room, and there waiting for me was Brandon. I ran into his arms. "Wow, the truth's all out now," he grinned. "And I can't believe I'm dating the real star. I'm excited for your famous life now." I shook my head. "No, Brandon. I just want a peaceful life. If you're with me for any kind of popularity, you've got the wrong girl." He kissed my forehead gently. "Babe, I don't care what you choose. As long as I can be with you. Always." And in that moment I realized something. Maybe, just maybe, my real life was finally beginning.